You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! The wait is finally over. Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments, just instant cash, instant gratification. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every day? At DraftKings, it's like a brand new season every time you play. Just select 2 pitchers and 8 position players, stay under the salary cap, and you could be on your way to an enormous payday. Last year, Peter from Colorado won $1 million at DraftKings in one day, just playing fantasy baseball. Hundreds of thousands of fantasy sports fans just like you have already cashed in at DraftKings. Now it's your turn. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code SPREAKER to play for free. You could win part of $300 million in prizes being awarded this season. Use promo code SPREAKER for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, that's DraftKings.com. This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the #1 thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. Or online at System5ElectronicsInc.com. That's System5ElectronicsInc.com.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Do you want that real sports talk? Unfiltered, unsanitized? Well, you have found it. This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people. Yeah! What's happening? Yeah, thank you for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show, man. I really do appreciate it, man. This is a Man Talk Monday, but we got to bring it back one more time. It's Monday, and I feel good, thank God. Yes! 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 Woo! Woo! Yes! Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord! April 27th, 2015. Thank you so much for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show, a.k.a. TDSS. And it's a Man Talk Monday. And I need to get your Ballas, your Bustas, your Gameballs, your Goats. All of that stuff, man. All of that stuff we're going to do today. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. But once again, I say it every single day. We get new listeners every single day. The easy way to be totally interactive is with the chat in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Yes. So all you do is you go to Spreaker. You're probably listening on Spreaker right now, but you go to Spreaker and you click on the follow button. You follow the show, first of all. You need to follow the show. And then you just jump in the chat. There's a little bubble. It looks like a comic book, a little chat talk bubble or whatever. Click on that, and then, bam, you're right there in the chat room with all the Stewies, the dogs, and the poodles. Speaking of which, shouts out to Big Smooth, That Ninja, Jungle Brother, Mocha Bella, Rail Scott. Shouts out to y'all, man. Thank you for being totally interactive. All right, man, so we've been doing this show for about 7 months now, and so we got a real big following as far as listeners to the show, and I would like to even call them family. I think that we got family in the chat room that listen to this show and help make it what it is right now, and it's doing fantastic once again. So Friday, man, obviously you probably heard right in the middle of the show I kept getting these phone calls. And it's crazy because I had my phone turned off. Obviously, that's Radio 101, where you turn your radio off. And my phone, I thought I had turned it off, and I didn't. And so if you listen to the show Friday, man, you kept hearing my phone ring, and it kept ringing over and over again. I kept trying to stop it. And then during the break, I actually found out what was going on. Real tragic news for your boy, man. My line brother, William Tico Dixon, man, passed away just tragically, unexpectedly, this past Friday. And it's crazy because I had just talked about it a week earlier, how, and everybody that knows me and have listened to me for over a decade with the Two Live Stews knows that I'm very much a loyal son of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, our fraternity. And so he was one of my line brothers, and I had just talked about it a week earlier, how we had been in the fraternity for 25 years, me and my line brothers, for 25 years, and by the grace of God, we were all still here. And just a week later, man, God takes away one of our LBs, man, and it's crazy. It's just crazy. It's unbelievable. He died, and I'll tell you this because this, it's out there. He actually died. He had a knee surgery. This guy had a knee surgery and formed a blood clot in his leg afterwards, like 5 or 6 days later, because I just talked about how we had went to New Orleans, like a little retreat, with my line brothers the week before, and he didn't make it because he had this knee surgery, and he formed a blood clot in his leg, man, and he's gone. He's gone. It's gone. I mean, 46-year-old dude, doctor, assistant superintendent, 2 kids. As a matter of fact, he had a son, his oldest son, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, his oldest son just pledged our fraternity like a year ago. And that's even crazier because when we were online 25 years ago, the spring of 1990, he got his father's mother, his son's mother, pregnant. So it's crazy how this whole thing comes full circle. So his son's a bruh. He has a younger son as well. And just off of what I would call a crazy, freakish type thing, you don't go in for a knee surgery and then freaking die. So freaking incredible, man. Tragic. And I'm saying freaking because I really want to cuss, man. And it really was a tough weekend. And I tried to do the show, if you remember, on Friday. I tried to do the show, another segment, and it was just too much. It was just too much. And it just didn't feel right. And so we kind of cut the show short in the middle, threw on a best of show. I just want to say thank you for everybody for all your well wishes. A lot of you did or have heard what had happened on social media to a degree. But yeah, that's what went on Friday, man. Just tragic news in the middle of the show. And I when we started doing radio, man, in 2001, we were told by our program director, the great Matt Edgar, make sure you cut off your phones. Whatever is going on, you can't, worry about what's going on. You have to be focused on the job at hand. You have to be a professional. And I always, try to carry myself as a professional in this industry. But I don't know. For some reason, God wanted me to find out this news on Friday because once again, I thought my phone was turned off, and it wasn't. And so that was going on. Now, thank you for sending me well wishes. Pray for his family, William Dixon. Pray for his family. Very good guy. I'm not going to be here this Thursday. The funeral is Thursday, so we're traveling to South Carolina, Chesterfield, South Carolina for the funeral. But we'll do the show every day except for Thursday. And thank you for your prayers, man. And pray for the family of William Tico Dixon, man. Still crazy, man. You don't know. You just don't know, man. And I've always lived my life like this, live life to the fullest. I've always done that, man. But it's things like this that just remind you, man. I mean, really, in relative terms, I mean, we only here for an ounce of a second. I mean, just a little spot in time. Live life to its fullest, man. Live life to its fullest. All right, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to talk about these sports and what happened over the past weekend. We're going to get into all of that. Some NBA talk, obviously, from last night. Some big fights this past weekend. Some talk of big fights coming up this weekend with Pacquiao and Mayweather. I'll tell you about how you can get tickets to come watch the event with me in the Doug Stewart Show. So stay tuned for that. Also, some interesting news in the world of baseball, but what it is on Mondays, what we do on Mondays, we do Ballas and Bustas. Some people call them Gameballs and Goats, but we call them Ballas and Bustas. First ball I'm going to give out, man. First ball I'm going to give out is to the Cleveland Cavaliers, man, as they handle their business and sweep the Boston Celtics 101-93 in their win on yesterday. And we're going to get more into it. We're going to get more into it, but I think Cleveland might win it all this year, man. They might win it all. Yes, they might win it all because I think this team actually is better earlier than the team that LeBron had in Miami with the Miami Heat and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and those guys. I think this team might be better. Now, an injury happened, which we're going to get into, and I'll give you my thoughts on that whole injury situation with Kevin Love, but I think this team might be better. Yeah, I think this team might be better, man, and they're just handling their business. Obviously, LeBron's a veteran. He's been through many, many wars in the playoffs. Kyrie Irving, he might be one of the top 2 or 3 players in the game. This guy's fantastic, man, and so they got a lot to look forward to if you're a Cleveland Cavalier fan and if you're that organization, man. So we're going to talk about Cleveland. They get my first ball of the day. Just tremendous. I mean, it is the 8th or the 7th seed in Boston, but still, the way they handle their business, with the Boston crowd on hand, man, they just did the damn thing. So we're going to talk all about the playoffs from last night. We'll also preview tonight's games in the NBA as well. That's what we're going to do on the Doug Stewart Show, and that's what we do every single day. I'm pointing my finger up to the ceiling. We do it every single day, Monday through Friday, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pass the word. Tell one person about the livest, the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America. Woo! Yes, sir. All right, when we get back, we're going to talk about these games from the weekend on yesterday in particular. We'll talk all basketball all day long. You know what? Friday, I was doing a top 5 on the top 5 most athletic / running quarterbacks of all times. And obviously we didn't even get a chance to get to the list, so I'll just throw those out there. I mean, I hate for a good list to go to waste. So we'll talk about, or I'll throw it out there today, man, just as a little side topic, a little Dougie Daily. And all of this conversation came from Tim Tebow and him being in the news and signing back with the Philadelphia Eagles back in the NFL. So got us thinking about the top 5 all-time rushing / athletic quarterbacks of all time. So that's what we're going to do. I'll throw those out there today. Kind of like where we left off on Friday, all right? Thank you so much for tuning in to the Doug Stewart Show, man. Thank you for hanging with your folk during some tough times. But we're going to roll on today, baby. We're going to roll on today. I read a lot of chat. We'll talk birthdays, and we'll do what we do. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on thedougstewartshow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! The wait is finally over. Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments, just instant cash, instant gratification. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every day? At DraftKings, it's like a brand new season every time you play. Just select 2 pitchers and 8 position players, stay under the salary cap, and you could be on your way to an enormous payday. Last year, Peter from Colorado won $1 million at DraftKings in one day, just playing fantasy baseball. Hundreds of thousands of fantasy sports fans just like you have already cashed in at DraftKings. Now it's your turn. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code SPREAKER to play for free. You could win part of $300 million in prizes being awarded this season. Use promo code SPREAKER for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, that's DraftKings.com.
Brothers and sisters! Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes, the rhythm, the rebel.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday, Ballas and Bustas. Some people call them Gameballs and Goats. What do you want to get into today, man? As far as these sports, we're talking basketball. A lot of fight conversation. A little bit later in today's show, man, I'm sure you've seen the stories at the Puppet Factory. For new listeners, the Puppet Factory is ESPN. I'm sure you've seen the story that the Puppet Factory did on Floyd Mayweather, where it concerning domestic abuse, domestic violence, and the incidences that he's been involved with over his career. I'm going to give you some thoughts on that story, man. And it's probably a lot different than what you heard. Well, not a lot different. It's a little different. I have a kind of different perspective on why I think that Floyd Mayweather isn't taking as much heat about domestic violence as some of these other cases that we've seen over the last year, in particular Ray Rice and Greg Hardy and Ray McDonald and all of those guys. So I'll talk a little bit about that and why I think this is viewed differently where it's concerning Floyd Mayweather Jr. All right, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. I told you in the last segment, if you're a new listener to the Doug Stewart Show, I told you I was going to tell you what you need to do and how you can see this fight this weekend with your boy, with the Doug Stewart Show. Here's where we're going. Here's what we're doing. We are going to the Tavern Restaurant on Campbellton Road in the SWAT, shorty. Yes. Saturday, May 2nd, Pacquiao Mayweather. I'm hosting the viewing party. $10 pitchers, $5 seafood baskets, $20 at the door cash, but here's the problem with that $20 at the door cash. This thing is going to be sold out probably today or tomorrow. I'm estimating at some point this week, this thing is going to be sold out. The place is nice, a ton of TVs. You'll be able to hear it. They got a great sound system. You're in a sports bar, wings, catfish nuggets, anything you want. I mean, what better atmosphere would you like to watch one of the biggest money fights in the history of boxing than at the Tavern Restaurant? All right, so their address is 5819 Campbellton Road, ATL, Georgia, 30331. You can also buy a table to this fight. And I'm not sure if the tables are still there, but I'm still going to give the announcements until they tell me different. But you can get a table for $25. That's right. So obviously that's a small table. And then you can get a bigger table for $75 and watch it sitting down all comfortable and have a good time watching Pacquiao Mayweather. Grab a pen. Here's the number that you call if you want to get your tickets or you want to get your table, reserve your table right now. The number is 678-904-7041. Once again, 678-904-7041. Don't wait till the last minute. You know how it is with a fight. How many times have you been riding all around town, calling around town? You got the fight tonight? You got the fight tonight? I'm telling you where you can see the fight. You can see the fight at the Tavern Restaurant off of Campbellton Road. Once again, their number is 678-904-7041. That's 678-904-7041. Me, Tree, the Doug Stewart Show is going to be there in effect, having a good time, eating our wings, drinking our brew, sipping on our liquor. We're going to have a good time. So come on through and join in with your boy and the Doug Stewart Show. All right, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. First ball I gave out was to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They get it done, man, 101-93. LeBron James, 27 points. A lot of the conversation, though, about this game was about the injury to Kevin Love. And Kelly Olynyk basically put him in an arm bar and in effect pulled his shoulder out of place. Yeah, and the question and the conversation all morning long, I've been watching the talking heads and radio and TV, and everybody's saying, and trying to ascertain whether this was a dirty play or not. I'm not going to say it's a dirty play because I don't think there was intent. I don't think he intended to dislocate dude's shoulder. I don't think that. Now, was it dirty in the way that he aggressively put him in an arm bar and, tugged at him and tried to get position? Because that's what it was all about. It was about a player trying to get position on Kevin Love, and when you're talking about the Ola kid. So I don't think necessarily it was or should be deemed dirty. It was borderline as hell. I mean, I think it was aggressive. If I thought that he did it on intention, I think that if I thought that he went in there saying, I'm going to pull this guy, I'm going to brace his arm in this manner, and hopefully I can pull his shoulder out of place, then I would say it was dirty. But I don't think that's the case. And then you had all types of other things going on in this fight as well. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You had Kendrick Perkins come in there and basically just set a hard-ass pick against this Jay Crowder kid. And then you also saw your boy, what's his name, J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith just deliver. I kind of can't even tell if it was an elbow or just a slap or a punch, a roundhouse punch or what, to the same Crowder kid and knocked him out of the game. And that was malicious as hell. I don't think that he tried to hit him that hard, but I do think that he was swinging in his arm with intent to knock dude out of the way, and his head just happened to be, in the way. I think the J.R. Smith thing, he's definitely going to get suspended for a game. I'm not even sure if they've already announced that or not. But just a horrible, horrible backhand to the Crowder kid had a lot. He had a lot of tough times yesterday in this game as he gets knocked out from the elbow/backhand from J.R. Smith. Also yesterday, the Los Angeles Clippers, they tied their series with the San Antonio Spurs and beating them 114-105. Chris Paul, man. Chris Paul is that dude. 34 points. And now, or recently, as I can tell, man, it seems like a lot of people are kind of questioning Chris Paul's his tenacity, his ability to win in clutch situations, saying he's a good point guard but not one of the best point guards because he just hadn't done anything in the playoffs. And he really asserted himself yesterday, and I couldn't disagree anymore about the whole thought process on Chris Paul. Chris Paul is that dude. I mean, he is. He's definitely one of the top, I think, 1, 2, 3 point guards in the NBA. As far as a floor general, getting everybody on the same page. He's just that guy. He's a consummate point guard, total skill set, just a fantastic player, man. He goes off yesterday, 34 points in the win versus the San Antonio Spurs. And then you ask yourself the question, is this it for the Spurs? Because clearly Tim Duncan is on, his last run. The team has won a tremendous amount of basketball games throughout his career in the NBA with the San Antonio Spurs, a ton of championships. But at some point, man, you got to hit a wall. And is this that? Do we see the changing of the guard, as they always talk about, with the Clippers finally getting past the San Antonio Spurs? Is it kind of like when the Chicago Bulls, couldn't get past the Detroit Pistons, and they finally did, and the rest was history? If you look at the talent on this team, man, for the Clippers, the coaching, this is a team that should make a lot of noise in the playoffs and possibly win some NBA titles. So maybe they get across that hurdle this year. Fantastic players once again, man. DeAndre Jordan can't shoot worth a lick, but damn, he's a solid presence in the paint. Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, they got a tremendous bench. I like their bench. A lot of people always talk about their bench not being that great. You bringing in Big Baby Davis off the bench. They got some bench players, so I like the Clippers, man, and looks like that they're going to make this thing into a series and take it down to the final wire. Also last night, another team, the Washington Wizards, Baller Award to them. Shouts out to my man Triple Digit, who I know is out there right now, just ecstatic. As they go ahead and beat Toronto and they win their series, they sweep as well, 125-94. Man, Paul Pierce, is he that big of a piece? I never thought in a million years Paul Pierce would have this much of an effect on a team at his old age that he is, but he is. Paul Pierce is balling under control. And this is another team. Well, this is why I love the NBA, man. And a lot of people give a lot of criticism to the NBA and how it's not as good as it used to be. And it's probably not as good as it used to be in the 80s and early 90s. But I love basketball, man. You look at this squad. There's a ton of great squads in the NBA where if you look at them on paper, and I know the game isn't played on paper, I mean, they should be able to do some things. And on paper, man, and looking at what they've done and how they've grown as a team, you talk about Bradley Beal and John Wall, Nene, and then you got the Gortat guy. I mean, on paper, they got a nice squad. They got a well-put-together squad. And can they make some real noise once again and vie for an NBA title? Probably not, but they're fun to watch. They are fun to watch, man. And Bradley Beal and John Wall. Oh, skill set wise, I just talked about Chris Paul and how great of a player he is. But John Wall, for his size and his athletic ability and the way he gets up and down the floor, who else gets from end to end in the NBA like John Wall? There's a lot of guys, actually. Russell Westbrook. There's a ton of guys that are just fantastic. This is a great era for point guards, man. You're talking about Kyrie Irving, guys that can just go from 0 to 100 real quick. Yes. And John Wall is one of those guys in that list, man. So I love that team. And also, the Houston Rockets, man, they go down to the Dallas Mavericks 121-109. Monte Ellis, 31 points. Monte Ellis gets the Ball Award. And Dallas gets back into the series. James Harden has 24 points, still doing his thing. So, yeah, great weekend in basketball. When we get back from the break, we'll talk more about what's going on tonight in the NBA and the association, kind of preview tonight's games. And then I'm going to read some of your chat. We'll also talk about one birthday. There's one damn birthday today of note. There's one birthday of note, so we'll talk about that one birthday today on the Doug Stewart Show. And I'm just going to read a lot of your chat, all right? Yeah. Don't go away. This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
Now, two things, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, you're going to have us to believe, Shayana Jenkins, you're going to have us to believe that you, a black woman, didn't look inside of this damn box. That's a lie. And then the second big part of this whole thing is you, come on, Tree. Come on, Tree. What black woman you know in America is going to be told to do something nefarious sounding like that and not take a peek inside the damn box?
You better stop.
You stop. And the second thing Shayana's going to have us to believe is that you took this box that you didn't look in, and you being a black woman, you took this box and don't know where you dumped it at? You discarded this secret box and don't know where? Come on, man. And another thing about black women, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and I'm an expert on black women. All of the black women I know, and I've had this conversation about, about this Aaron Hernandez trial, and what do you think that his girlfriend's going to do when she testifies, this, that, and the other. Everybody that I talk to, and I kind of get the feeling from talking to black women that they ain't trying to do no time for nobody. Yes.
Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern. The Doug Stewart Show. Sports talk, straight, no chaser.
This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area, all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the number one thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5ElectronicsInc.com. That's System5ElectronicsInc.com. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And this is a Man Talk Monday. Hope you had a great weekend, man. Outside of the tough news that I dealt with all weekend long, man, I just chilled. I didn't do anything, wasn't in the mood for anything at all, obviously. And I watched a ton of Daredevil, that's right. And Tree and a lot of other people had told me to check it out on Netflix or whatever. And it's kind of strange because, I'm a big comic book fan, and I love that genre of movies and TV or whatever. Can't wait until the Avengers comes out this Friday. But I never even saw the original Daredevil in movie theaters with Ben Affleck because I'm just not a Ben Affleck fan. I don't like that guy for some reason. I don't know what it is. I just don't like Ben Affleck. I don't think he's a great actor. And then I had heard that the movie wasn't good, but then Tree said that it was good, and everybody kept telling me to watch this TV series, and tonight I am on the final episode of Daredevil. It is pretty good. I think some of the acting, and Tree, can you jump on for a second?
Hey.
And this is Tree, the producer to the Doug Stewart Show. I think some of the acting is kind of, and I don't know, maybe it's just the production and the script as well. I think some of the acting is kind of questionable sometimes. The guy that plays Daredevil, and maybe that's a faction of being blind, and so his character's kind of quirky to me. Once again, I don't know. I like the series though. A fantastic series. I'll watch it again. I'll put it like that. That I'm captivated enough to watch season number 2, and I can't wait to watch the final episode tonight.
So he doesn't have enough swag for you.
Well, he does, and it's cool, in a blind kind of way, in a kind of Ray Charles kind of way. But I don't know.
He's very likable from a female point of view, but I do understand what you mean. But there's power in, he's kind of low key. There's a lot of power in that too.
Right. The dialogue is great. The conversations they have back and forth. I'm sorry?
Froggy is pretty, I feel like Froggy is doing a lot of good acting.
He turns 42, but this ninja look like he's 62. Yeah. He's not aging well. He's not aging well at all. And so he turns 42 years old today. Tremendous job as the head coach of the Mississippi State Bulldogs over his first couple of years. You remember he was offensive coordinator of the Florida Gators. Has been around college football for a long, long time, looking at his resume for like 30 years. And so he turns 42 years old today. Happy birthday to him. And that's pretty much it. I mean, if you were born on April 27th, you don't share a birthday with any damn body, really, of note. No real celebrities that you've heard of. I mean, we look at this thing. We scour the interweb for celebrity birthdays, and there's none. There's nobody famous, really, once again, of note that was born today. So it's kind of strange in that effect. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. This segment is brought to you by System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as little as $16.50 per month. That's right. Once they install it at your house, here's a great thing about System 5. You own it. You own it forever. And they're also doing this promotion this month where if you buy a smart solution system, you'll get a free driveway probe. And what it is, when somebody drives into your yard, it'll alert you. And it can even show you images on your cameras that they can set up for you as well from System 5 Electronics. So check them out online at System 5, the number 5, electronicsinc.com, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. The easy way is probably just to pull them up right now online on your computer. You're probably sitting in front of your computer. System 5, electronicsinc.com. Fantastic company. If you got any issue, they'll actually let you speak to the owner. He's a friend of mine, Mr. Maceo Brown. That's right. But you got to make sure and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Let me read some of this chat here from OG Dion, Buster to Toronto. I guess Toronto deserves a Buster Award as they get swept in their series. You remember Toronto started out the season as the number one team in the Eastern Conference for about 15 or 20 games. They were playing great basketball. And then the Atlanta Hawks at some point overtook them. And Nah. I mean, Toronto is definitely missing something. They got a couple of good players, but they don't have anybody that's really that you look at and say is a guy that's going to take them to a title. So OG Dion gives them a Buster Award. 216 Dane, he gives a Buster Award to Kelly Olynyk. I understand people saying that the play was dirty in the whole thing with Kevin Love. I understand that because he did lock him and he did, make a forceful push against dude's arm that resulted in him dislocating his shoulder. And that's a bad feeling. If you saw Kevin Love run off the court, and I'm going to give you a little secret right now. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And I've told this story before, if you're an old school Two Live Stews listener. My shoulder right now is like Danny Glover in 48 Hours. Is it 48 Hours or whatever that movie is? My shoulder right now still pops in and out of place. I hurt my shoulder. I dislocated my shoulder in a junior varsity football game back in 1985. Is it 85 or 86 maybe? And never got it worked on. Clearly it's torn because it now pops out of place every once in a while. Like if I do something the wrong way, it'll pop out of place. Now it'll pop right back in, but it's just a terrible, terrible feeling. And you saw when Kevin Love, his popped out of place, it was locked. And he was scared to put it back in place because of the imminent pain that he would receive, and he knew it. And he just ran off the court, man. That's just a horrible, horrible injury. But I'm not going to give Kelly Olynyk a Buster Award because, once again, I don't think when he did that, he intended to hurt dude. He was trying to get position. And they've done that, and they've locked up like that, him and Kevin Love, probably 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 times in their life in playing basketball. So I'm not ready to give dude a Buster Award for that. From Thale Pay, for starters, Curry, LeBron, Harden, Westbrook, Anthony Davis, Durant. He's not above any of those guys. And talking about, who was I talking about? And I talked about, I'm not exactly sure. I mentioned somebody earlier that's one of the best players in the game. From String, a Buster Award for John Jones. Is it too soon to nominate John Jones for a BPA? Yeah. The story, John Jones evidently was part of a hit and run. Still investigating it. I'll talk more about that a little bit more later. From Eddie Moe, man, the Hawks are in some trouble. I don't want to give him a Buster Award. Hawks lose Game 3 against the Brooklyn Nets. Now, listen, we've seen a couple of sweeps in this tournament, in this playoff so far, but these are professionals, and these are all pros, and you lose games in the playoffs. How many times we see series go 6 or 7 games? Atlanta Hawks fans are just panicking. They shouldn't lose to the Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, we're the number 1 seed and they're the 8th seed. We shouldn't lose, but I fully expect the Atlanta Hawks to go and handle their business in Game 4 against the Brooklyn Nets that takes place tonight, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. I fully expect them to handle their business and just finish this thing out in the Game 5 back in Atlanta. Now, if they lose tonight, it's a real, real problem. Just forget everything I just said. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, but I don't expect that to happen. From Ronald Cameron, Cleveland will still beat Chicago without Love. He's a good three-point shooter and rebounder, but he's a liability on defense. Tristan Thompson is a better defensive player. I agree with that. But I'm going to tell you what, and we got a lot of people that listen to the show, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show that are fans of the Chicago Bears or Bulls, and the Bulls are looking good. The Bulls are looking good, and your boy Derrick Rose is playing fantastic, looking like the old Derrick Rose, kind of in and out of looking like the MVP Derrick Rose, but playing fantastic basketball. And I always talk about on paper, and I have to, reiterate, I know the games aren't played on paper, but if you look at this team, man, they got everything. With the addition of Pau Gasol, man, they got something that they didn't have in previous years. If you talk about Pau Gasol and what he does and his skill set and his experience in the playoffs as well with all the rings, that's a huge piece, man. And now they're healthy, seemingly. The Bulls going to be a tough out. Yeah, the Bulls are going to be a tough out. I probably think the Bulls are going to give the Cavaliers more so of a battle than anybody else that we can think of. But, man, they are looking very, very good. I don't know about that because I'm a big Kevin Love fan, and I thought that it was a great acquisition when they picked him up from Minnesota and comparing him to Chris Bosh and what he did for those teams that won championships down in Miami, I like Kevin Love better. I did. Because you got to remember, Chris Bosh, he eventually became a jump shooter, a guy that shoot three-pointers or whatever in Miami in their second championship. And that's what Kevin Love does, and he's better at it. Statistically, he was better at it than even Chris Bosh. So I thought it was a great move. We'll see about his injury going forward and what it means for this series coming up. But, yeah. I like Chicago, man. Damn. And I flipped because I didn't think Chicago would be able to put it together in enough time, having all their pieces back in the chemistry. But Derrick Rose is on go. Yeah, playing, less apprehensive, and he's going for it. And I didn't think that he'd be able to play at this level this quickly, but he is doing it and making me look like a liar. All right, when we get back from the break, man, we're going to talk some fighting, some boxing from this past weekend. And also, I'm going to give you my thoughts on this whole Floyd Mayweather and domestic violence conversation that's happening right now. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes. This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you not stewing, what in the world are you doing? This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life? And if you saw this fight, you saw that Klitschko really didn't even use his right hand. He says there was nothing wrong with his right hand, but his straight right is just incredible, man. I mean, he's really just like the Ivan Drago character from the Rocky movies, man. He's just big, and the guy Jennings is like 6'3", but Klitschko just dwarfed him. And it's just really a sad situation for the sport of boxing, especially in the heavyweight division. When you're talking about Americans, man, it's just nobody out there of note that's going to vie with this Klitschko guy, man. This Klitschko guy is a freaking animal. He's a freaking animal, man. And also this weekend, man, some interesting comments came out, speaking of boxing, from George Foreman. And you know George Foreman, I mean, he's one of the all-time great boxers. Was during the era of boxers in the 70s, the dominant boxers, Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes, Ken Norton Jr., or Ken Norton Sr., and all of those guys, man. Just a tremendous lineage of boxers during the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. And Floyd Mayweather Jr. came up, conversation, and George Foreman says that Mayweather is better than Muhammad Ali. Now, you remember Mayweather had made these comments in the interview that he did with Stephen A. Smith, saying that he's the best boxer of all time, that Muhammad Ali, he's better than Muhammad Ali, and he also said he was better than Sugar Ray Robinson. And George Foreman agreed with him. Now, I don't know if I go that far, but I definitely understand Mayweather saying that, he's the best boxer of all time. Why not? Why would you say anybody else is better than you at your craft? So I totally get that. And he's undefeated. And he's never been knocked down. And he kicks much ass. What? And he's going to make more money probably in the sport of boxing than anybody ever in the history of boxing. Okay? And so he has a lot to be confident about. But George Foreman agreed with him, talking about his skill set and the fact that he's a better technical boxer and this, that, and the other. But then the crazy thing about it, George flips it on the second sentence and says that he thinks that Pacquiao is going to win this fight. Now, I don't know what George was thinking on that, which kind of takes away from the validity of the first comment and saying that he thinks Muhammad Ali's or Floyd's a better boxer than Muhammad Ali, because I don't see that at all. I don't see that at all. And I heard an interview earlier today with who was it? The trainer, and I can't remember his name right now. But the trainer, he had trained Manny Pacquiao, and I apologize for it slipping my mind. Teddy Atlas, that's who it is. And Teddy Atlas was saying how, Pacquiao is markedly smaller than he was 5 or 6 years ago. And you remember Floyd, there was all of this conversation. Floyd had suspected him of using performance-enhancing drugs. And now, a couple of years later, usually cats get older, they pick up old man weight. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And you know what old man weight is, right? Old man weight is just weight that you naturally put on from getting old. And such is not the case with Manny Pacquiao. He's actually much smaller than he was many, many years ago. So it makes you go, was Pacquiao doing something why he was so much bigger in the eyes of fight fans and on the scales? What was he doing now that he's much smaller, noticeably smaller than he was many, many years ago? And if you saw the stare down where they announced the fight, like Floyd's way bigger than this guy. He is not just taller, but he's bigger than this guy, Manny Pacquiao. I don't see any way. I don't see absolutely any way at all that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is going to lose this fight. Now, it is boxing, and crazy things happen, and judges come into play, and I hope not. I hope we have a good, clean fight, and I hope that it's judged correctly. But, man, you can't think that Pacquiao's going to win this fight. As much as you hate Floyd, and a lot of people have much disdain for this dude, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, but you can't deny what he's done. And I've been preaching this for the last couple of weeks the closer we get to this fight. But, I mean, come on, man. The dude is undeniable. He doesn't really even get hit. Yeah, okay, Manny Pacquiao, kind of like, a Tasmanian devil type fighter, a guy that's going to keep coming forward like a Ray Boom Boom Mancini type guy, or a Roberto Duran type guy is going to keep coming forward. But that's not going to work with Floyd. Floyd's going to evade a lot of those punches. There's going to be a lot of counter punches. One of the best counter punches, one of the best defensive fighters of all times. Like, there's nothing that I can see analyzing this fight that makes me think that Manny Pacquiao is going to win or should win. Nothing. May he win? Is it a possibility that he can win? Of course. It's boxing. Anybody can get caught with a clean, right hand or whatever. But in this case, man, I just don't see it. I just don't see it, man. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to wager a couple of shillings on it, man. I am. And I don't wager. I know I'm a recovering gambleaholic. I know. But, I mean, if you want to bet $1, shoot me an email. We'll bet $1. We'll bet $1, and I'll bet up to 10 of y'all $1 that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is going to be victorious in the fight this weekend in Las Vegas versus Manny Pacquiao. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. So this is the weekend we've been talking about for many, many weeks. You've got the fight May 2nd. You've also got the Kentucky Derby happening on Saturday as well. And then the NFL Draft gets started Thursday night. Just a tremendous weekend in the world of sports. I can't wait. Can't wait. Let me read some more of your chat here, and the chat is the way to go on Spreaker.com. Follow me on Spreaker, then jump in the chat room and be totally interactive. Also, download my app, the Doug Stewart Show app, in your app store on iTunes or on your Android phone. We're all over the place. There's no reason for you not to find the show. I mentioned earlier, before I jump into this chat, that I wasn't able to do the top 5 on Friday, the top 5 athletic/running quarterbacks of all times. Kind of lost a little bit of its luster based on what happened this past weekend with me. But let me just quickly give you the list of names, and I'm not going to really go into detail or drag it on like I usually do with this type of thing with the top 5. But number 5 on my list was Steve Young. Obviously, fantastic quarterback, probably the best passing quarterback out of the list of names that I've got in front of me right now. So number 5 is Steve Young. Number 4 is Cam Newton. I mean, Cam is he's like a freaking defensive end playing quarterback, and he's fairly good. He's young. He's got a lot of upside, so I got Cam Newton at number 4. Number 3, Cordell Stewart. That's right, a.k.a. Slash. Slash comes in at number 3 on my list. Did a lot of great things, and really, I'm trying to think. After Randall Cunningham, the big name as far as a quarterback that played the position like that was Cordell Stewart. And he was more so of a hybrid. He was more of a runner than a quarterback, but really had some good times and some good years at Pittsburgh when he was the starter there for a couple of years. Friend of the show as well, and he's got a great last name. So Cordell Stewart comes in at number 3. Number 2, Randall Cunningham. Obviously, a lot of people put Randall Cunningham as number 1, but obviously because of the affinity I have for this guy and his time that he spent in this city, man, the number 1 running/athletic quarterback of all times was Mr. Excitement, a.k.a. MV7, Mike Vick. Yes. I mean, I don't even need to say anything. You talk about electric. Electric? Oh, it was just a joy to go down there because it was like a Mike Tyson fight. Whenever you watch Vick, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and I know I'm waxing poetic about yesteryear. Whenever you watch Vick, man, you were just, you knew you were going to see something unbelievable every single week. Every single week you could bank on it that you were going to see something crazy on that football field that this ninja would do. And same thing with Mike Tyson. You just knew that Tyson was going to knock somebody out probably within 20 or 30 seconds, but you knew it was going to be vicious, and you knew it was going to be monumental. Same thing with Vic. Man, you just got your popcorn, and you got ready to see something exciting. So my list, number 5, Steve Young. Number 4, Cam Newton. Number 3, Cordell Stewart. Number 2, Randall Cunningham. And number 1 on my list of rushing/athletic quarterbacks of all times is Michael Vick. Damn. I mean, the show is flying by, man. Shouts out to everybody in the chat room, all of the Stewies on Spreaker.com. Vince Wright, does anyone even know the undercard to the fight? Haven't looked at it yet, Vince, to be honest with you. Eddie Moe, been watching this darn Bruce Jenner interview. Woo! It's just crazy. Yeah, I watched for about 30, 45 minutes of that Bruce Jenner interview. No comment, man. Just no comment. Bless his heart. Or her heart. Bless, I don't know. Bless Bruce Jenner's heart. Bless his or her heart. I'm confused on which one to say and be politically correct. Vince Wright, Bruce Jenner got caught up in the Kardashian vortex. Yeah, man, it's just strange for a guy to have been married 3-4 times. He got like 10 children, 6 of his own that he produced. Very interesting story. That's the best way I can put it. Very interesting story. Very interesting story. I can say that. Yeah. All right, when we get back from the break, I'm going to give you some thoughts on this Mayweather domestic violence conversation that's going on right now. I'll read more of your chat. We'll continue to talk about basketball. I'll get your Ballas and Bustas. This is what we do on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. wait is finally over. Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments, just instant cash, instant gratification. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every day? At DraftKings, it's like a brand new season every time you play. Just select 2 pitchers and 8 position players, stay under the salary cap, and you could be on your way to an enormous payday. Last year, Peter from Colorado won $1 million at DraftKings in one day, just playing fantasy baseball. Hundreds of thousands of fantasy sports fans just like you have already cashed in at DraftKings. Now it's your turn. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code SPREAKER to play for free. You could win part of $300 million in prizes being awarded this season. Use promo code SPREAKER for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, that's DraftKings.com.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
And we getting a lot of chat because Tree made a comment and used the term have sex raw. And just like you cavemen dudes that listen to this show, y'all eating that up.
If you're going to say it right. It's ride raw.
Ooh. Okay, see that, Tree? You can't do that. William Mack, I'm torn on whether or not to nominate Dwight Howard for garnishing his baby mama's bank account for violating a gag order. She was wrong for mentioning his name on that bootleg show, but come on, man. That's the mother of your child? Yeah, and I read the story, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And it does seem very petty. Dwight's got $1 gazillion, and this chick clearly is just trying to keep her name relevant so that she can continue to get roles on reality shows.
I mean, we talked about this before, and you all jumped on the woman when she ain't trying to work. She's trying to work. Okay?
But she broke the rule. She broke the agreement, Tree. She can get a job. I mean, I guess it'd be less. It'd be harder for her to get a job if she doesn't intermingle Dwight Howard conversation into the talk.
What kind of job can she get that's going to accommodate the lifestyle that he created for her?
Oh, here you go.
Hey, welcome to Chick-fil-A.
What Chick-fil-A it is then? She not attached to dude anymore.
She is forever attached to dude because she rode raw.
Okay, now you really just playing with the people in the chat room and the listeners' emotions. Okay, you know they just pervs like that and they like to hear you talk dirty. You didn't have to go there again 3 times a day on the show.
Yes, you once, twice, 3 times a lady.
Sports Talk. Straight, no chaser.
What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you. So they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. If you're not still, what the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday, where I get your ballers and your busters from everything that happened this past weekend in the world of sports. Obviously, a lot of basketball conversation, some fight talk. Vladimir Klitschko is a freaking machine. I must break you. I mean, that dude is just... He's just a freaking monster, man, and I don't see anybody in the near future, especially from the U.S. of A., the good old U.S. of A., beating this guy, man. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. But the easy way to be totally interactive is to jump in the chat room, and where I read all of your chat, and that's what makes it interactive and make you interactive with the show. From Miss Mocabella, why did the Puppet Factory have that special on Floyd Mayweather now coming up to the fight this weekend? We all knew before he had domestic violence issues, nothing new. Here's my thoughts on this Mayweather thing that I think a lot of people are missing. I haven't heard talked about in this whole conversation about Mayweather and domestic violence. First of all, let me say this, and I've said this before if you listen to the show, I got a real problem with a sports league trying to overrule the verdict or the outcome of our judicial system. I got a real problem with that. So you mean to tell me a commissioner of a league, the president of a league or whatever, has more authority in a legal matter than a judge and a jury? I just inherently have a problem with that from the rip. All right? I just do. So that's a problem with this whole type of discussion for me right off the bat. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, obviously, I got daughters, man, and I'm never a proponent of domestic violence and beating women and putting your hands on women. I've never touched a woman in my life. Come from a family that I've never really had any incidences of that before. So I totally understand the conversation when it comes to Floyd Mayweather Jr. and the fact that he's been arrested, I think, like 5 times. He went to jail 1 time. So a lot of stuff, there's a lot of smoke. So there has to be some type of fire. I understand that. I get that. And Floyd always argues, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, he always argues there's no pictures and, there's these accusations and I've got money and these women are just out to get me. I don't know about none of that. I don't know about that. And a lot of it may be true. We don't know. We have no clue. But once again, this is an issue that's been handled. Okay? This has been handled in a court of law. He actually went to jail. He did his time. The same arguments that I made back in the day with any argument, with any athlete. The argument that I made with anybody in sports. I care about what they do in the field. I can't control. Only God can control what happens with somebody in their life. Okay? What they do off the field, off the court, off the diamond. Only God can judge them. And Floyd always says that. Who are we? We aren't experts in this. Once again, it goes back to a judge, seeing over a case and an attorney representing his client. We aren't, in that legal system. We aren't. All right, I'm a sports talk guy, and you're a plumber, or you're a CEO of a company. You're an attorney. You're a doctor, or whatever. We don't have the ability or the expertise to really comment on something dealing with the law. We don't. And I really hate when the NFL does it and sports leagues do it. Here's the big thing that I think that people are missing and the Puppet Factory is missing. And I know why the Puppet Factory is doing these stories, because it's ratings. It's an intriguing story. And it's we hate Floyd Mayweather. I totally get that. That's what they do. I'm not really mad. I've stopped being mad really to a degree of the things that they report on that I think are biased or not biased. I'm past all that. The thing that I think everybody's missing, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, is Floyd Mayweather, in effect, is the boss of the company. Okay? So if you owned a dry cleaner or you owned a lawn company and you had an employee that, you had several employees and you had one particular employee that keeps getting taken to jail every weekend for beating up his old lady, you can get rid of that guy and you can bring in somebody else. But you can't do that in boxing. You can't do that in sports in general. You can do it in some sports more than others. You can do it in football more than you can in boxing, because in football there's a 53-man roster. You get rid of one guy and the game still continues. In boxing, it's one guy. In effect, Floyd Mayweather is like partner. With boxing. He's like a partner with boxing, with the sport of boxing. He is like a partner, not a silent partner, a big-ass partner. If you fire, in effect, what they're saying and all this conversation about why are we looking at Ray Rice's situation tougher, and he got more negative feedback from the public than Floyd Mayweather, it's because Ray Rice is one person on a 53-man roster. Floyd Mayweather is boxing. If you don't have Floyd Mayweather, you don't have the game. Okay? You don't have the boxing match. Okay? You take away Ray Rice, the game still goes on. You take away Floyd Mayweather, there's no match. There's no game, quote unquote game. So that's why, in effect, Floyd Mayweather Jr. and boxers in general, because it's basically a solo sport, it's not a team sport, they are in effect partners with the Commission of Boxing. They are partners. They are CEOs, okay? You can't just get rid of willy-nilly a partner. It's as simple as that. That's why Floyd Mayweather hasn't received as much backlash from boxing and from the sport of boxing, is because, in effect, he writes everybody's checks. Floyd Mayweather writes the checks. Floyd Mayweather's going to make like $100 million this weekend. Can you imagine how much the sport of boxing and Las Vegas is going to make this weekend because of Floyd Mayweather and the presence and the brand that he's going to bring? Okay? If you're Las Vegas, if you're the Las Vegas Gaming Commission, Boxing Commission, Floyd Mayweather's your partner. It's as simple as that. We may not like it, but once again, it's different than Joe Blow. This is a different dynamic than, the normal everyday boss to employee relationship. There's really no boss to employee relationship where it pertains to Floyd Mayweather and boxing. They're kind of like partners. And not kind of, they are partners. No boxing without Floyd Mayweather and the big names in the sport. No Floyd Mayweather without boxing. So it's freaking frack. They come hand in hand. It's peanut butter and jelly, Jack. They can't just tell Floyd Mayweather, we're not going to let you box anymore. That's just unrealistic. It's unrealistic to even think on those terms. And that's what I think that the sporting public is ignoring, and what they're just missing, or what they're trying to purposely miss in this conversation when you talk about Floyd Mayweather Jr. Yes, chances are, a lot of smoke, there's got to be some fire that Floyd Mayweather has done some of these things. He denies it. He's paid his time. He's going to jail. What more do you want the guy to do? What do you want boxing to do? In effect, what the Puppet Factory is saying is Floyd Mayweather should be suspended. Huh? That's not going to happen. That's just not realistic. That's pie in the sky. That's just not going to happen. Floyd Mayweather's the boss. In team sports, you got bosses. We can get rid of your ass. We can bring somebody in, maybe not as good as you, but we can bring somebody else easy to do what you do. Not the case in boxing. No way. Floyd Mayweather writes the damn checks. What are your thoughts on that, man? When we get back from the break, I'm just going to read chat because you're the Stewies and I love you. I mean, we're going to keep it real, man. We're going to keep it real. Once again, I'm not mad at anybody for being mad at Floyd Mayweather. I can see that. Based on the history and what he's been accused of and what's on record, I understand that totally. And I'm not bumping for the guy. What I'm trying to tell you is he writes the checks. That's something that hadn't been talked about anywhere else. Okay? You suspend Floyd Mayweather? You don't let Floyd Mayweather box? We don't get paid. Vegas don't get paid. Commissioner of boxing don't get paid, or whoever. There's not a commission, but there's a body for boxing. Nobody gets paid on that board. Nobody. So it's not going to happen. Don't go away. Keep it locked to the Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
So, I'm probably 6. So, Jesse Bryant rolls by, and I remember it like it was yesterday. He rolls by in his truck, and for some reason, something in my mind says, pick up a rock and throw it at Jesse. And I hit his truck. And not only did I hit his truck, it was a damn good throw and aim because
it hit his windshield, and it cracked his windshield. So he stops and jumps out of the truck. I don't think anybody saw me, but he jumps out and, Isaac, so your grandson hit my truck with a rock. They had a little conversation. I'm like, oh man, this is bad. And sure enough, my grandfather walks up and sees this nick on the windshield. And Jesse rolls away, and I know I'm in trouble. My daddy not around, my mother not around, and my grandfather reaches down, and this is God is my witness. Strike me down right here. My grandfather reaches down and pulls off a branch from a rose bush. Yes, just drags his arm and pulls off the leaves. Thorns are still applied to said switch. You get your ass whooped with a switch is bad enough, but a thorny switch? Oh my gosh. So he commences to busting my ass with a thorny switch. Yes. And you know I was marked up from head to toe. Now, that's probably child abuse. Not saying that what Adrian Peterson didn't do was child abuse either, but that was child abuse. That's a deadly weapon. And this is no lie. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show.
The wait is finally over. Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments, just instant cash, instant gratification. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every day? At DraftKings, it's like a brand new season every time you play. Just select 2 pitchers and 8 position players, stay under the salary cap, and you could be on your way to an enormous payday. Last year, Peter from Colorado won $1 million at DraftKings in one day, just playing fantasy baseball. Hundreds of thousands of fantasy sports fans just like you have already cashed in at DraftKings. Now it's your turn. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code SPREAKER to play for free. You could win part of $300 million in prizes being awarded this season. Use promo code SPREAKER for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, that's DraftKings.com. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to everybody that's listening to the show that's brand new. Thank you. I nub you. And you only hear real opinions, not sanitized, not filtered, not that crap you hear on the Puppet Factory. You just hear real sports talk, guy talk around here, man. We have a lot of fun, talk about what's going on in the world of sports and beyond. And that's what we do on the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338. You can call the show at that number, or you can just jump in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Shouts out to everybody in the chat room just being chatty. Yes. And I said I was going to read a lot of chat here. Get your thoughts about all that we talked about today, from basketball and the NBA playoffs. Hot and heavy. The Klitschko fight this past weekend. I gave you some thoughts just now that everybody's ignoring and where it pertains to Floyd Mayweather Jr. and domestic violence. The Puppet Factory actually did a big story on it. And I see a lot of these chat messages from Scott. He says, F the Puppet Factory. They issue on Floyd, trying to issue on Jameis, yet continue to worship Tebow. Case closed. There's a lot of stuff in these guys' past to discuss that's titillating, that's going to captivate your attention. So I'm not 100%, mad at the Puppet Factory for rolling out this story this week. Once again, you got to remember when you look at this stuff, man, this is what they do. And they talk about titillating, tantalizing stuff, so you'll watch. I mean, they only get paid off of ratings. But guess what? You have the antithesis of that, and that's the Doug Stewart Show. All right, so you're going to hear the other side of a lot of these conversations on this show. From Eddie Mo 2.0, man, can a brother get the $10, get in for $10 with some canned goods at the tavern on Saturday? No, man. It's $10 freaking dollars. And listen, I need to clear something up. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. $10 gets you in the door. Or it's not $10, it's $20. What are you talking about? You tried to flim-flam me, man. It's $20 to get into the door. All right? $20 to get into the door. And your ass is going to stand up, which ain't a bad thing, okay? Which is not a bad thing in relative terms for $20. What's the fight, $100? and you can stand up for an hour or two or whatever to watch the fight. You ain't that damn lazy. So it's $20 to walk into the door and stand up. And then they've actually got another couple of more deals as well that I was just notified about. You can sit down. You can get a seat at the bar for $15 more. Okay, that's the way it works. $15 more after you get in. You can have a seat. You can sit your ass down somewhere. For a 2-seater, it's $25. For a 4-seater, it's $50. They just added that. $50 gets you a 4-seater, a table for 4. All right, after you pay the $20 to get in. And then there's a 6-seater as well for $75. So yes, you can sit down. These prices in relative terms are much lower than you would pay at your house. You got a better atmosphere and environment. You got wings. You got so it's great. So I mean, this stuff costs a lot of money, man. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Trust me, the way they do it, and I've done this before, and I've worked with a venue that have thrown a fight party before. They base how much the establishment pays for the fight based on their occupancy. And so whatever the occupancy is, they are getting their money, okay, the cable company. And so, I mean, it's fair. Trust me, great prices, going to be a great atmosphere, great times. You'll be able to see and hear the fight, so come on through. But don't bring no damn canned goods up there trying to get in to see this fight, man. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm just going to tell you right now. Even the studio audience says that's some bullshiggity. It's not going to happen. Let me grab some more of this chat here from Kendall. Damn, already in hour number 2, or at hour number 2, shaking my head. This is truly the fastest show on turf. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Kendall. The fastest show on turf, the Doug Stewart Show. From Leon, when Floyd makes Manny look average, everyone will start making excuses for him. Oh, they're already making excuses. The excuses are already coming out. What if this was 5 years ago? It should have been 5 years ago. Manny's not the boxer he used to be. What? Floyd's 38 years old. That's not an excuse. It's all relative, okay? It's all relative. From Juan Cruz, I heard John Saunders say, even if the cable company gave him the fight for free, he would not watch. The company line at the Puppet Factory is too obvious. Yeah, John Saunders on the Sports Reporters, who I obviously respect a lot. I respect a lot. He said, with his stance on domestic violence and his disdain for Floyd Mayweather Jr., that they could give him the fight for free and he wouldn't watch it. Hey, man, that's his choice. That's his choice. I don't look at it that way. I'm looking at a boxer. I'm looking at a fight. I want to see two guys fight. And my morality doesn't say to me, because of the things that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has done outside the ring, that I'm not going to watch a sporting event. And this is the problem I got. And this goes back to the problem I made earlier, the point that I made earlier, that I really have a problem with a commissioner of a league or of a league having power in ruling as though they were a judge and a jury. It's a conflict. It's ass backwards if you really think about it. So I separate the two. I separate Pete Rose gambling off the field and how great of a player he was. I separate Lawrence Taylor snorting up some cocaine but getting sacks on the same day. And I separate all of the issues Floyd Mayweather Jr. has had in his past to what he does in the ring. I think you have to do that. I mean, who are we? Once again, who are we? From Eugene Jackson. Doug, I'm Team Pacquiao. I know you are, Eugene Jackson. We know. And that's fine. From Jungle Brother, how can the Puppet Factory do archive slandering on Mayweather but ignore Rick Pitino going Tony Soprano on a stripper half his age? Yeah, it's a conflict. And there are certain biases that clearly come across. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. That clearly come across in the way that these stories are being reported. Do I have an issue with them pulling out this story? And I think the story actually was first aired when he fought Maidana back in 2014. The story that they're showing right now in the Puppet Factory. Do I have a problem with them bringing it out again a year later? No, I don't, because that's what they do once again. But I'm not stupid enough to ignore the obvious biases in the way stories are reported based on who the individual is. I'm not that stupid. Fat Boy McCoon, Manny going to get dropped in the 9th round. Remember this day. Eddie Mo 2.0, Foreman has the axe to grind. Foreman will give Ali love like that, or won't give Ali love like that. From Vince Wright, hey, Doug, how was prom night waiting for your daughter? Is her date still alive? So I'm sure some of you have seen, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm sure some of you have seen, I posted pictures of my daughter going to the prom with her little date. And, my daughter's absolutely beautiful, man. I love her to death. So I posted some pictures on my Facebook this weekend of her and of the pre-prom before she left the house with this dude. And I'm laughing now because she made it back safe. Everything was fine. God bless that. They made it back in one piece. She was actually home before her curfew. She did have a curfew. And it's funny, before the dude left, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, before the dude left, I talked to him, and my brother was over here. So, me and my brother are the Pitbull brothers. I mean, we give you the old 1-2 without a question. So me and my brother sitting there talking to this guy, and obviously the guy is scared to death. He's sweating. I can see the sweat rolling down his brow. And no need to be scared, young man. We just want to talk to you. So we talked to him, and everything was fine. They got in the car, and I walked over to the car window, and I roll the window down. My daughter's sitting there, and she looks at me intently, and I says, hey, man, be careful tonight. This is God's my witness. I said, be careful tonight. That's my daughter. I love her. And lastly, make sure that you don't do anything tonight that I'm going to have to kill you for. And then I smiled. I just don't want him going back telling the police that I threatened him. I was joking. Not really. I was joking. And he looked at me for half a second like, this ninja is for real. Yes, I was for real. No, I wasn't for real. Yeah, I was for real. No, I wasn't for real. But everything ended up all right, man, and so proud. She's going to graduate in a couple of weeks, man. And, man, time flies. If you remember, okay, so she's 18. She's actually an older senior. Her birthday is in September. If you remember when we first started the show, the Two Live Stews, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, we started the show in 2001, the Two Live Stews. So in 2001, let me try to quickly do my math, and I'm not great at math. In 2001, so carry the 3. It's 2015, so 2001, 14 years ago. All right, we started. We were on the air. We first came on the air with the Two Live Stews. So 14 minus 18 is 4. 18 minus 4. She was 4 years old. And I used to always tell stories about my baby girl. She's 4, and some of the trials and tribulations of having a young daughter and her first time getting on the bus, and now she's graduating high school. Praise God! Yes, sir! Healthy, knock on wood. She's off to college in the fall. She is off to college in the fall, man, and that's why I need your support. That's why I need your support. I need you to tell people about the Doug Stewart Show. I got tuitions and weddings. That's the ill effect of having daughters. I love them to death, but I got weddings to pay for, man. At some point, probably. At some point, I got to pay for like 3 weddings. Ah, damn. Oh, man. All right. When we get back from the break, man, I'm going to read more of your chat and keep it moving. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on thedougstewartshow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! The wait is finally over. Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments, just instant cash, instant gratification. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every day? At DraftKings, it's like a brand new season every time you play. Just select 2 pitchers and 8 position players, stay under the salary cap, and you could be on your way to an enormous payday. Last year, Peter from Colorado won $1 million at DraftKings in one day, just playing fantasy baseball. Hundreds of thousands of fantasy sports fans just like you have already cashed in at DraftKings. Now it's your turn. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code SPREAKER to play for free. You could win part of $300 million in prizes being awarded this season. Use promo code SPREAKER for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, that's DraftKings.com. This is the Doug Stewart Show.
Let it bump, though.
And it's a Man Talk Monday. Ballas and Bustas. Man, thank you for all of the chat, man. I didn't really even realize it, man. But this show is kind of like in therapy for me, man. I came in today and said, man, let's get it together. Let's get yourself together. Obviously, tough weekend for me if you're just joining me. I lost one of my fraternity brothers who I was very close with. One of my line brothers, actually, for people that understand the dichotomy of black Greeks. And so real close, man. First one of my line brothers that I've lost. So it was a tough weekend, but I was looking so forward to getting back into talking about these sports. The show was kind of cut off on Friday. And all of the stuff that went on this past weekend, all of the stuff that's coming up this weekend, the big fight, Kentucky Derby, the NFL Draft, which we're going to get a lot more into the NFL Draft. We're going to probably have on Sean King, who is a draft analyst / guru for Yahoo Sports. We'll have him on this week in preparation for the NFL Draft. Won't be doing the show live Thursday. It'll be a best of, so still listen. I ask that the chatters and all of the Stewies continue to do what you do and talk about sports on Thursday when I'm not here. But the show will be live again on Friday, and we'll do what we do. All right? 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Make sure you follow the Doug Stewart Show group on Facebook. It's the party after the party. It's the after party. So as soon as the show is done, whatever we've been talking about today, continue the conversation in the chat room in the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group. As well as make sure you follow me on Twitter and retweet today's lucky tweet. Numbers. It's kind of like your fortune. So retweet that. My Twitter handle is at the Doug Stewart Show, or it's at Doug2, the number 2 live stews. You can find me both ways on Twitter. Let me read more of this chat from Matt. Ali fought grown men. From Niner for Life. If the Spurs win Game 5, is it over and vice versa? I don't know about that, man. I think I can really see this series between the Spurs and the Clippers going to 7 games. I can really, really see that. And I can see also, even though I still right now would bet on the Spurs to win this series, I can see the Clippers winning it. I can definitely see the Clippers winning it in 7. From J.B. Jennings, I actually went to Virginia Tech with Vic and came in the same year as him, and I remember his first game like it was yesterday when he leaped from the 5-yard line against James Madison and did a flip into the end zone. I remember that game as well. And the hype surrounding Mike Vick and him finally getting to start at Virginia Tech was crazy. And I remember that play. He actually hurt his ankle on that play, and I think he had missed like the next couple of games. But yeah, I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, maybe I'm going to do at some point as well, and I'm sure I will, because we always look for these great topics to talk about. I talked earlier about the top 5 athletic / running quarterbacks in NFL history, and Mike Vick was at the top of my list. Maybe at some point we'll do a top 5 most exciting players in sports history. Maybe not just football, but sports history. And we probably could do a list just for football as well. Mike Vick would definitely be on that list. Randy Moss got into a little debate this weekend on the 2 Live Stews Facebook group as well about Randy Moss and Jerry Rice and that whole debate. But yeah, man, Vick was just silly, stupid fun to watch, man. But it's funny because Ronald Curry got all the hype coming out of high school since they both came out of the Tidewater area the same year. Was Ronald Curry and Vick around the same time? Did they play the same time? I didn't think they played. I thought Ronald Curry was a little bit earlier because it was the Vick show when he got out there. Or did they move Ronald Curry to wide receiver because of Vick and the emergence of Vick? I don't remember exactly how that whole thing went. From Harold Archie, man, oh man, that was an electric environment in the Dome. Geez, loved my season tickets back then. It was a damn party. Yes, it was a festival. Like George Costanza said, it's a festivus for the rest of us. Yes, sir. When Vick was in Atlanta. It was unbelievable. Ducking and dodging. ESPN is playing both sides. Yeah. A lot of people will tell you ESPN's playing both sides of the fence in this Mayweather conversation. As far as they're being very critical and putting him in effect on Front Street with his issues with domestic violence in the past, but at the same time, they're promoting it. They got a whole crew. The West Coast ESPN Sports Center crew is camped out in Vegas the whole week. So some people are saying they're hypocritical and talking out the side of their mouth. And one side of the mouth, they're crushing Floyd Mayweather, and you got John Saunders saying he won't watch the fight, and then they're reporting it, and they're getting ratings, and they're at some point getting revenue because of the advertising dollars that are going to be spent on ESPN in promotion of this fight. So a lot of people are saying they're hypocritical. I won't go that far once again. I won't, because I know this is what they do. And probably their conscience is speaking to them, and they know that what they're doing is kind of, shady, for lack of a better term. But it is what it is. They got to get people to watch. And Floyd Mayweather, whether you love him or hate him, in this fight against Manny Pacquiao will make people watch. Ronald Cameron put it this way: if we were talking about a mid-card fighter who couldn't draw money, he would be banned for a couple of years. Yeah, probably would. And I don't even know if that's the case. I talked earlier about how I think and how, it's different in boxing because Floyd is the show. Floyd signs the checks, in effect. He's the boss. Or he's at least in partner with the bosses. And if a lesser-known fighter had done the things and been accused of the things that Floyd Mayweather has been in the last couple of years, would they be suspended? Probably. Maybe. Or maybe even not, because if they don't have that much recognition, people wouldn't even pay attention. The fighting public, the boxing public wouldn't even know if it was a lesser-known fighter that had done these type of things. So boxing wouldn't have even, a reason to make it a story and suspend said fighter. I don't know about that. From Texas Tide, good point, Doug. NBA has a stat points accounted for. I want to know Floyd's money accounted for this weekend. Exactly. Same thing you can say about Tiger Woods, okay? Man, can you imagine what Sunday was like at the Masters with Tiger Woods as compared to if Tiger Woods wasn't there? I mean, he puts money in everybody's pocket. Let's just be honest. Tiger Woods, and now you can put him kind of in the same category. You know, I think Tiger's still bigger as where it relates to golf. But Floyd's not too far behind as far as everybody eating off his back. Everybody is eating off this ninja's back. Yes. Once again, I think Tiger's probably bigger to his sport than Floyd is to his. But not that much more, because nobody else could draw up this much attention. Love him or hate him, he's got his detractors. People think he's a vile person, but they're still going to watch. A lot of people are watching this fight to see Floyd get knocked the F out. You know, but a lot of people want to continue to see history like myself and one of the greatest fighters that we've ever seen in our lifetimes, or in boxing history, period. Okay? So whether you love him or hate him, you're going to watch. You're going to watch. It's as simple as that. From Juan Cruz, William Roden looked disgusted at John Saunders' comments on sports reporters yesterday. I guess Mike Lupica has rubbed off on John. Yeah, man. Bill Roden, man, you know he's very anti-establishment. Let's put it like that. You remember he wrote the book, I can't remember the name of the book. It was something dealing with the fact that in effect he was calling athletes or slaves or not slaves, and how they should be viewed. So very militant, very anti-establishment. And John Saunders always gives, you know, that contrasting opinion on that show, Sports Reporters. So, yeah, I kind of saw John Saunders say, man, this guy over here is killing me, in talking about John Saunders. Or Bill Roden was saying that about John Saunders, which I've been a fan of that show since I was a little boy, since Dick Schaap ran that thing, you know. What's the Jeremy Schaap's old man. I've been watching Sports Reporters for a long-ass time. So a huge fan of that show. And, yeah, I have noticed that Bill Roden, a lot of times he takes the contrarian attitude, or the perceived contrarian take on a sports issue, and I absolutely love that guy. We've had him on the show several times back in the day on the Two Live Stews. I need to try to get him on the show soon. I think we can get him on as well. If you haven't noticed, this show is pretty much driven by your host, me, and the listeners. I mean, that's kind of like what we do. We do interviews, but I only want to do the best interviews and the biggest names. And so what we do around here, man, is this a family business. We talk sports like only we can do it on the Doug Stewart Show. And damn it, the show is almost over. We're going to wrap up when we get back. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
Now, two things, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, you're going to have us to believe, Shayana Jenkins, you're going to have us to believe that you, a black woman, didn't look inside of this damn box. That's a lie. And then the second big part of this whole thing is you. Come on, Tree. Come on, Tree. What black woman you know in America is going to be told to do something nefarious sounding like that and not take a peek inside the damn box?
You better stop.
You stop. And the second thing Shayana's going to have us to believe is that you took this box that you didn't look in, and you being a black woman, you took this box and don't know where you dumped it at? You discarded this secret box and don't know where? Come on, man. And another thing about black women, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and I'm an expert on black women. All of the black women I know, and I've had this conversation about, about this Aaron Hernandez trial, and what do you think that his girlfriend's going to do when she testifies, this, that, and the other. Everybody that I talk to, and I kind of get the feeling from talking to black women that they ain't trying to do no time for nobody. Yes.
Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern. The Doug Stewart Show. Sports talk. Straight. No chaser.
This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the number one thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this. You own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5ElectronicsInc.com. That's System5ElectronicsInc.com. The world's heavyweight champion of sports talk radio. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Thanks for joining you, boy. Once again, let me say that one more time. The world's heavyweight champion of sports talk radio. Throwing jabs across your chin. The Doug Stewart Show. All right, listen, that fight this weekend, man, I'm telling you, don't sleep. Get your tickets right now. All right? Here's the way you should look at it. You listen to the Doug Stewart Show. You get in for $20, so you can come in, stand up, and check out the fight. No problem. Standing room only for $20. And then you got other prices. You got a $75 price. You can even pay $15 to get a stool to come watch the fight with me at the Tavern Restaurant off of Campbellton Road. Think of it like this. You're going to watch the fight anyway. You were going to pay for the fight. You were going to pay $100 for this fight, right? Pay $20 and pay $15 more for a stool. And in effect, you got $35 that you put forward for this fight, okay? And then use the rest of the $65 to eat and drink. You were going to buy the fight anyway for $100. Come on through and watch the fight with your boy. 678-904-7041 is where you can reserve your seat for the fight. Table 678-904-7041. That is the number to the Tavern Restaurant off of Campbellton Road in the Swats, where we're going to be watching the fight this Saturday night, man. I cannot wait. Me and the studio audience. Are y'all ready? Y'all ready? We ready, Dougie? Yeah, we ready, Dougie. We're ready, Dougie. Yeah, they're ready. They're ready. So how about you? Let me read more of this chat before we get out of here. 9 for Life. Doug, if this show was 8 hours, work would seem like 2 hours. Man, thank you, man. We've got a little donate button. If you donate to the show, and we're going to push this big campaign out there very soon for donations to help the Doug Stewart Show, TDSS, take it to the next level. We're trying to get a third hour, but we got bills. I just got to keep it real with you. We got expenditures. 9-0 the Rhino. They covered Kurt Busch totally different. Yes, I agree. Leon, mainstream media operates in a very Hippocratic fashion. You just have to be above it. Talking about Floyd Mayweather Jr., Vince Wright. Plenty of sex harassment within those ESPN walls, too. Read the books on them. Yeah, you've heard about some of the stories on some very prominent people at ESPN. Once again, I know a lot of time I chide on the Puppet Factory, ESPN, call them Puppet Factory and have fun with them. But I got a lot of good friends that work there, a lot of cool people that work there. So I don't want to paint this broad brush. But I do disagree with a lot of the way they report stories and seemingly a lot of the biases. Even when I was there, even when I was doing First Take for those many years, a lot of times, I was on the total opposite end of the spectrum as far as the company line, the perceived, quote, perceived sentiment espoused by people there at the network. So that's nothing new. And they know that that's nothing new with me. From Vince Wright, I can't watch SportsCenter anymore. Too many dumb jokes and cat calls. Just do the damn highlights. That Neil Everett is the worst. Stop yelling at me. From Harvey Scott, Doug, I'm inclined to believe Mayweather because the media loves pictures to back up their point. If there were pictures, they would be plastered everywhere because they hate that man. Yeah, if you've heard Floyd's retort to the questions concerning the domestic violence cases, every single time Floyd's response is, do you think that if I beat on women, that if I hit women, there wouldn't be pictures out there, that y'all wouldn't have them plastered all over the place? And once again, I don't know how true any of this is. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a judge. I don't know all the details. I don't know all the specifics. But that's a pretty damn good point. That's a pretty damn good point. Floyd Mayweather hits people for a living. Okay, and once again, I'm not trying to bump for him. I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong. I'm responding to the chat message by my man Harvey Scott. I mean, he hits people for a living. If Floyd Mayweather beat up his girlfriend, his wife, or whoever, and yes, there are witnesses. Floyd's kids actually stated that he did these things to their mother. Floyd says it didn't happen. There's not been any evidence that we've been able to see as a public. None. I haven't seen any pictures. I think there were some pictures the last time where he went to jail for the 2 months, but they were light bruises. They didn't look like, punches from a prize fighter to a woman that's never been hit in her life and that has sensitive skin. Once again, I got to keep saying this. I'm not vouching. I'm not bumping for Floyd Mayweather Jr. I'm responding to this point that Harvey Scott is making about Floyd denying that he's done these things to the level that everyone else is saying and that the media is saying. That's all I'm saying. JB Jennings, damn, the tavern about to get that bread. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got to get that bread, man. They got to get that money for this fight. Yes. Everybody trying to get their money. Jeez. Kaza, $20, then all you can eat and drink and lap dances. Yeah, $20 gets you in. All right, so $20 gets you in. That $80, buy food, alcohol, spend it. You have a couple dollars left to go to your local shoe modeling establishment. If you come hang out with me at the tavern, man, it's going to be crazy. Let me grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Triple Digit. I'm here in Atlanta, and you know what I want to talk about.
Triple Digit, what's up, baby?
First time since 78, 79 that my Wizards, my Bullets, whatever you want to call them, have made it to the second round of the playoffs.
Congratulations. For people that don't know, Triple Digit is from the D.C. area, and he's a huge Washington Wizards fan. Congratulations to y'all, Triple Digit.
I appreciate it, and that's my baller, and I'm hopeful, the Nets take y'all to 7, but then somehow the Hawks win, so that way I can go to games 1, 2, and, if we let y'all stick around for games 5 and 7.
Right.
I'm playing around, but no, I appreciate it. I'm not going to jinx my teams or anything because every time I talk trash or ish, it goes back on me. So that's all right. Have a great one. I will see you guys at Phillips Arena for game 1. I'll be the one wearing my West Sunset jersey. Give me the crap you all want to give me, but go Wizards.
Appreciate
I'm gone.
Appreciate the call, Triple Digit. Big time Wizards fan. You don't find many of them, especially in Atlanta. from John the Company Man regarding domestic violence. Griner is engaged to the chick she got in a fight with, but let's be real, girl on girl is pretty much just a girl fight. I can't push the domestic violence the issue because they're a couple. From that ninja, John, you are being fairly loose with the term girl when referring to Griner, in my opinion. Okay, see, come on. Why you didn't have to go there, that ninja. From Leon, thanks for the gift, Doug. We'll put it to use this weekend. Mainstream media operates in a very Hippocratic fashion. You just have to be above it. I think I already read that one, but he added the piece about the gift that I sent him. Yeah, if you donate to the Doug Stewart Show on the DougStewartShow.com, there's a little donate button to the right. We'll send you out a little gift, man. We'll send you out a little gift. I got one question for you, man. Are you not entertained? Woo! Damn, this is the fastest 2 hours on radio, baby. It is. The realest, the trillest, most unfiltered guy talk show in America, the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, man, I feel good, man. Praise God. Praise God. Feeling a lot better. Tough weekend for your boy. But blessed to have my boy, William Tico Dixon, for 25 years, man. And gonna miss him, man. But we had a great time. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to the Doug Stewart Show today, man. Really do appreciate it. Pass the word. Continue to tell people. Tell at least one person. That's all that I ask. Thank you, Tree, for all that you did today. Waterhead Walter, thank you for what you did. Dwayne Bassan, Gerald Oliveri, you guys are the best, my engineers. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace.